What's going on, everyone? It's Jason here. Hope you're having a great day. Today, we're doing a big recap on AMC, the price action today, also what's going to happen tomorrow, and on the new DTC 002 rule that just went into effect or going to effect tomorrow, and how that could affect AMC and the price going forward. If you could, make sure to smack the like button down below. Definitely helps out this video. Helps out more people learn about AMC and stay up to date. And if you're not a sub, make sure to hit the sub button, hit that bell notification, and let's get right into it. If you're wondering what I'm using here, I am using Webull. There's a link down in the description down below. If you click on that link, sign up, put $100 in, you get 2 free stocks worth of $1,800. I also get 1 free stock as well, and you get the tier 2 NASDAQ views for 3 months for free. You can see buys and sells going in and out of the market in real time, and on top of that, you get to buy and sell 4 hours pre-market, 4 hours after market, so you get 8 extra hours of trading. Guys, look at this, man. Today was an amazing day. We climbed back up just like I predicted yesterday. I knew that since we had a down day Monday, I figured that the hedge funds were dumping some of those shares they had bought on Friday and some of the shares they bought yesterday in the dark pools and then dumping onto the market. I was hoping that that meant today they would have less ammo to do that on. And guess what happened? Look at this, guys. We're up 4.63% of the day. Finished at $58.27. I think we can go forward even higher tomorrow as well. Currently, right now in aftermarket hours, we are at $58.16, down 0.19%. Again, I'm not really worried about aftermarket hours at all. Aftermarket hours for the past, couple weeks almost now has been pretty stagnant. So I'm not really too worried about that. See right here, you got like 3, 4, 5, 6,000 aftermarket volume. Today's volume was at 169 million. Currently, I think we'll probably end around 170 million or so, because we do got about an hour left in the aftermarkets here in Nashville, which is where I'm at, Central Standard Time. So again, I do think we can have another great day tomorrow. We don't need, some people keep saying, but don't we need 4 or 5, 100 million to move up? No, we don't need that. What we do need, though, is hopefully, eventually one for these hedge funds not to be buying in the dark pools and be able to dump into the regular market like that so often. Needs to be rules and regulations on that. But all we need, man, is some nice buying pressure. That'll put pressure on hedges, and we continue to move forward. But again, at the start of the day, we're having these big downfalls, and we're all the way down, say a couple hours into it, we're still down. That just creates a negative movement, and then people, stop buying, and then we fall south again. Today, we had a down movement at the start of the day. Had some dumps, right, going into the market, and then boom, we had this big, nice little W right here, and then it shaped right up. Now, going into the market hours, we did have a little slight downverge because in pre-market, we got all the way up to where like $56.20. We started heading down. Again, going into market hours, we dumped all the way down to $51.07. We had a really, really nice recovery off this W right here, right? All the way up to $58.27. Going into the aftermarket hours, we had a high right here on the day, though, if you're counting aftermarket as well, at $58.86. And again, from there, though, currently we're at $58.18. Great day, though. Amazing day. Up almost 5% of the day. If we can have 4 or 5% days, I would be very, very happy. As you guys know, I do think we're going to have more of a slower type of a squeeze. I've been saying this for months now. I didn't think AMC was going to be like GME in terms of just like a rocket north really quick. I thought we were going to have more of a slowly, edging type of squeeze, and that's continued to do this. I think, again, I do think we're going to continue to head north. I do think we're going to have some setbacks here and there, and that's okay to have those. It's nothing to be sad about. Just got to, continue to keep your head down, continue, buying and hodling, and everything's fine. Now, we're going to go over these Ortex numbers really quick. These are the Ortex numbers for today. Let me bring this down some because for some reason it got cut off even more. There we go. Sweet. So we had the exchange reported short interest, which is at 102.30 mil, was previously at 94.58 mil, change of 8.17%. Estimated short interest percent of free float currently is at 13.99, previously at 13.17, which is another change of 6.23%. Free float on loan, so the free float on loan is currently at 18.17. 7 days ago was at 17.11, another change of 6.20%. Now, all these numbers are great, guys. This is just reiterates that the hedge funds have continued doubling down on the regular shorts and the naked shorting, right? This is great numbers. So shares alone currently is at 92.92 mil. Previously was at 87.50 mil. And it's another change of 6.20%. Days to cover is currently at 0.61. 7 days ago was at 0.60, which is barely a change of 1.57%. Now, the 2-week, though, currently is at 1.3 days to cover. Cost to borrow currently is at 2.01. 7 days ago is at 3.01, which is a negative change of negative 33.26%. Now, also right here, the utilization currently is at 94.28, which is continuing going back up again. 7 days ago was at 82.90, which is a change of 13.73%. Now, I do think this utilization number is currently probably right around 98 to 99 area, but this is neither here nor there. Obviously, that's just my thinking on those actual numbers and utilization. Now, looking at some large print orders today, we did have 2 big large print orders today. So there was one 9 hours ago for 297,000 shares for the price point at 16 million. And then I think about it 2 hours ago, right before close, we had another one come through for 310,000 shares for another 18 mil. Now, guys, these are dart pull orders. Just remember that these are probably them loading up to dump these back on the market in the next few days. So don't be alarmed if we see some sales. It doesn't mean the market's selling off. It doesn't mean that they're selling off. It just means that what they're doing is continue doubling down on this buying the dart pulls and then, dumping onto the real market. That way they're not moving the price of the stock forward really quick. Whereas when you buy on the dart pulls, it's more of a gradual push of the stock price. And then when they sell off in the market, the actual market that me and you trade in, not the dart pulls, that kind of dumps the market a lot faster when they're buying it through these dart pulls. So it takes about a week or so for these orders to go all the way through in the market, which would push the stock price up if they weren't dumping them down. So Ortex did go out today for a short interest update. Says that AMC continues to increase, up 1.21% today. Estimated short interest is currently at 14.16% of the free float. Now, we all know that this doesn't count, synthetics and the naked shorting. I would say it's probably somewhere between 40 and 50% shorted, honestly, which is massive. But even at 14+% short, it's still really, really big for a company, right, to be shorted down. So they did borrow more today. They borrowed 3.51 million shares. They only returned 2.39 mil. Now, these right here probably aren't actually returned. They're using long options to make it look like they've covered. But just don't give in to those numbers. Again, we've talked about this plenty of times, how the hedge funds do use the options pools to make it look like they've covering shorts. And again, it's not really Ortex's fault. They're just, getting that data in, and they can't, derivative trade between a long short, cover, and then like a regular cover. So it looks like those shares are returned. Now, some of these shares were probably returned, but not 2.39 mil. It's probably more like maybe 1 million if you're lucky, and they're continued almost like a 4x on their borrowed over the returned. So let's head over here real quick. Currently, there are 82,919 calls that will be in the green on Friday at $60, which I think is, again, it's very possible. I think we can get to 65 before Friday. At 60, though, there'll be another 29,661. I do think we can have over 100,000 calls be in the green, though, going into next week. And that doesn't even count, all the other, weeks that are ahead of that have a lot of options in the green right now. Now, we can come down here. I think right now the dart pull percentage is in A for yesterday. So, obviously, we can probably guess that this is somewhere between 60-ish% on those dart pull percentage. And that just shows you how high, how high, man, that the trading volume is going through these dart pulls for AMC right now, which is massive, crazy. And currently right now, the short percentage float right now is currently at 43.8%, guys. Continuing going back up, right? Continue going back up. Again, like I said, I think it's somewhere between 40 and 50%. Obviously, everybody's taking a shot at the dart on that. You don't get the numbers every 2 weeks, and those numbers don't count lots of things like synthetics and the naked shorts and stuff like that. So you almost have to make your own little numbers up in your head. Not really make them up in your head. You just, kind of guess how many naked shorts are out there, yada, 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 and come up with that percentage point yourself. Now, again, I do think it's somewhere between 40 and 50%, kind of like Stocko Tracker does here. So we did get some pretty big news today that the DTC 002 rule has passed. This has passed, which is great, guys. So if you a quick rundown what the DTC 002 rule is, it's pretty much it allows margin calls to be called up on every hour if they don't have the collateral to obviously back that short. So which is really, really great. We can go over it really, really quick, and I'll read through some of this. I don't want to go over too much of it because, again, the short version is that margin calls could be called on the hourly. which is great. Before it wasn't on the hourly. Again, is this rule going to 100%, happen all the time? Probably not. But if it happens every once in a while, it'd be really, really nice for it to happen. Now, a lot of these, DTC rules, let's be honest, they get used every once in a blue moon. I am hoping we start seeing these things used a lot more often. I think that would really help out hedge funds not going and abusing a lot of these rules, and then also having a good enough punishment against them, not some like $10,000 fine or some $1 million fine where they're making billions of dollars. Again, they're going to pay those fines all day long and not really care about it so much if the rules against that and the punishments against that aren't enough. So the introduction right here, the National Securities Clearing Corporation filed with Securities and Exchange Commission proposed rule change SR NSCC 2021-002 pursuant to Section 19B1 of Security Exchange Act of 1934 and Rule 19B4 thereunder to amend its supplemental liquidity deposit requirements. The proposed rule change was published for comment in the Federal Register on March 24th, 2021, and the Commission has received comments in support of. The changes proposed therein on May 7, 2021, pursuant to Section 19B2 of the Act, the Commission designated a longer period within which to approve, disapprove, or institute proceedings to determine whether to approve or disapprove the proposed rule change. On June 17th, NSCC filed partial amendment number 1 to proposed rule change, which provided additional description of the proposed rule change and did not change the substance of the proposed rule change. As discussed in more detail in the section 2D below, the Commission is publishing the notice to solicit comments on partial amendment number 1 from interested persons, and the reasons discussed below is approving the proposed rule change as modified from partial amendment number 1. So description 2 of the proposed rule change: as a central counterpart, the NSCC occupies an important role in the securities settlement system by interposing itself between counterparties to financial transactions, becoming the buyer to each seller and the seller to each buyer to ensure the performance of the contract, thereby reducing risk faced by its members and contributing to global financial stability. NSCC liquidity risk management plays an integral part in NSCC's ability to perform its role as a CCP. If a member defaults, NSCC as a CCP would need to complete settlement of guaranteed transactions on the failing member's behalf from the date of default through the remainder of its settlement cycle. Currently, 2 days of security that settle on regular ways basis in the U.S. markets. Obviously, a lot of you guys know that takes 2 days. To do so and meet its related regulatory requirements, NSCC seeks to maintain sufficient liquidity resources in order to meet potential funding required to settle outstanding transactions of a defaulting member in a timely manner, as well as the hold qualifying liquid resources sufficient to meet its minimum liquidity resource required in each relevant currency for which its payment obligations owed to its members. So remember, guys, pretty much what this means is a margin call when there's no liquidity, right? So they don't have enough liquidity. Pretty much this means there could be margin calls within every hour, that there could be a margin call any hour. A margin call can happen if they don't have liquidity because of the new liquidity risk management right here. That's pretty much, again, I guess that's like the smooth brain ape way to say that's what's happening here. Now, hopefully this rule does, happen. Again, it's hard for me to have faith when it seems like the SEC and the DTCs, it just seems like there's just not a lot, of things actually happening. We got lots of cool rules, but all these rules happening, who knows, right? I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here, but I want to see these things actually happen before I believe they're going to happen, right? So I need to see them. This is great to see these rules go into place, but I've been in the market for 11 years, guys. 11 years. I've seen a lot of awesome things coming into the markets against suits that could help out, especially those retail investors over my 11 years. And a lot of these things, go to the wayside. There's lots of rules out there in the books. Just go through the books, guys. So many rules out there that can help out, but they hardly ever get used. And when they do get used, it's like a $10,000 fine or $1 million fine or a $100,000 fine. We need harsher penalties, right? I don't care if it's making it to where you can't buy and trade for a week or a month or whatever. or if it's bigger, you know, like some of you guys want people to go to jail for some of these things. Obviously, I agree. Some of these things are horrible that they're doing, putting people out of work, trying to pretty much undermine the stock market by, you know, making companies fail and file for bankruptcy and go to nothing, right? Kind of like they tried to do with AMC. They've done plenty of other stocks in the past. Man, I just want to see these things happen, right? I want to see these things happen. The good news is guys, is that, you know, DTC, you know, 002 does go into effect tomorrow. Hopefully we see some action on that. We had the DTC 005 go into effect. Man, lots of good stuff. Lots of good rules coming into effect, though, guys. That could definitely help AMC. Now, obviously, we have to wait for results. Is results going to happen? Either way, we don't need these things for 100% to have AMC, you know, skyrocket and to squeeze. At the end of the day, man, any little help we can get is help we can get, because the hedge funds are going to pull out all options, put them all on the table, man, because at the end of the day, they have egos, and right now they don't want their egos hurt, so they're doubling down on AMC and everything that's going on there. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure you guys share it. That way more people learn about what's going on with AMC. Share it here, Reddit, you know, Discords, wherever. It definitely helps out the videos a lot. And if you're not a sub, hit that sub button down below. Smack the like button. Hit that little bell notification as well. And if you haven't joined our Discord, there's a Discord link down below, guys. Click down there. Click on the Discord. Love to have you guys be a part of our Discord group. I will see you guys in the next video. I'll see you star side. Peace out, fam.